I've always trusted the GPS. That cold, robotic voice guiding me through highways and back roads. Always certain, always confident. Even when I didn't know where I was, it did. And for most of my life, that was enough. Until one night, deep in the middle of nowhere, it brought me somewhere I should have never seen. And no matter how many times I tried to turn around, reset, or reroute, I couldn't leave. Before I tell you what happened, if you've ever felt that uneasy sense that the road you're on is starting to forget you, that the trees are standing just a little too still, that the signs are pointing somewhere you've already been, then you're in the right place. Welcome to Bloodthirsty Forest, where every story leads deeper into the dark. If you're not afraid to get lost, subscribe and stay with us. Some stories only find you when you're alone. It started after midnight. I was driving west on Route 17, somewhere between pine-covered hills and the kind of small towns that don't even have stoplights. I'd been on the road for 8 hours already. The sky was a flat sheet of black. My gas light had been on for 30 minutes. And that's when the GPS told me, turn left onto Ashridge Lane. I don't remember seeing that road on the map earlier. I definitely didn't see a sign, just a narrow strip of cracked pavement veering into the trees. But when you're running on fumes and your screen says there's a gas station in 4 miles, you listen. So I turned, and I shouldn't have. The road narrowed almost immediately, swallowed by trees that leaned in too close like they were eavesdropping. The asphalt cracked beneath my tires. No lights, no signs. Just me and the dim glow of my headlights cutting through the dark. I started to wonder if I'd made a mistake, but then after a few minutes I saw it. A flicker of yellow light through the trees. A neon sign half dead but still glowing. Ashridge Fuel and General. The station was old, the kind of place that looked abandoned even when it was open. One pump, dirty windows. A hand-painted closed sign hanging crooked in the door. But the lights were on. I pulled in. The place was empty. No cars, no music, no buzz from inside. Just that humming fluorescent glow, flickering like it was struggling to stay alive. I tried the pump, dead. I walked up to the door and knocked. The inside was lit, but nobody answered. Then I noticed the clock on the wall through the glass. It was stuck at 12:03. The second hand wasn't ticking. And worse, the same moment I looked at it, the GPS spoke again. In 200 feet, turn right. Right? There was no road to the right, just woods. I stepped back toward my car. That's when I realized something strange. I hadn't heard a single sound since I'd pulled off the main road. No crickets, no wind, no engines, not even my own footsteps on the gravel. Just a silence so deep it pressed against my eardrums. I got back in the car, trying to shake it off. The GPS recalculated. Drive forward 0.7 miles, then turn left. Fine, I thought. Maybe this was just a weird detour. I needed gas, I needed to get out. I'd find another town, so I followed it. The trees closed in again. My hands gripped the wheel tighter than I realized. After exactly 0.7 miles, the GPS said, turn left. And there it was, a small paved road cutting between 2 oaks. No name, no markings, but paved. I turned. And 5 minutes later, I passed the same gas station. Same sign, same crooked letters, same dead pump, same stuck clock. 12:03, exactly as I'd left it. Only this time, the door was open. I stared at the open door. No breeze, no movement. Just that same hum of light spilling out onto the cracked concrete like a trap. Part of me wanted to drive past it, to just hit the gas and plow through whatever fake detour the GPS had given me. But something in my chest, that sick, tight feeling you get when you know you've made a mistake, made me stop. I got out again. This time, when I stepped inside, the bell above the door didn't ring. The store was tiny, dusty shelves, a counter stacked with faded postcards, a refrigerator humming weakly in the back, filled with cans of soda that looked like they hadn't been touched in years. And behind the counter stood a man, middle-aged, thin, greasy hair slicked back, eyes too bright for the rest of his face. He smiled before I could speak. Evening, you look like you got turned around. His voice was calm, unnaturally calm. Yeah, I said. I was just trying to find a way back to the highway. My GPS brought me here. He nodded slowly, like he already knew. That happens sometimes. Ashridge likes visitors. He said it like the town had a mind of its own. Do you know the way out? I asked. The man didn't answer. He turned and picked something up from beneath the counter. A folded map? He slid it toward me, tapping the center with a long, pale finger. Right here, Ashridge. Just take this road back out and you'll be fine. I unfolded it. The ink was faded. The paper smelled like old attic wood. But there was Ashridge right in the center. What caught my eye wasn't the road. It was the writing in the margins. Small, handwritten, faint. Do not trust the signs, they change. Don't stay past 3 a.m. If you see yourself, leave everything and run. My throat tightened. I looked up. The man was gone. No sound, no movement. Just the map, still open, still pointing toward the same road I'd already taken once. The same road that had brought me back here. I stepped outside. The air felt heavier. I looked at my phone. No bars. The time, 12:03. Still. That's when I realized I'd been here for over 30 minutes, and the clock hadn't moved. The GPS pinged again. Turn left in 500 feet. My hand trembled on the steering wheel. Left meant the woods. But when I looked up, the road ahead, the one I'd driven in on, was gone. Just trees. Just dirt. Just fog curling around the trunks like fingers. Ashridge wasn't letting me go. Not yet. I drove. Not because I trusted the map. Not because the GPS made sense anymore. I drove because sitting still felt worse. The road wound through a thick patch of pine trees, their trunks too close together like walls narrowing around me. My headlights stretched ahead no more than 30 feet before being swallowed by the fog. 5 minutes. 10. And then my lights ahead. I squinted. Another building, a diner this time. Old-fashioned, with a red neon sign that buzzed faintly. Millie's, open late. There were cars outside. 4 of them, empty. The diner was lit, music playing inside. And for a second I felt relief. A real human place, something normal. Until I stepped out of the car and heard the song. A soft, scratchy tune playing from the speakers inside. You can check out any time you like, but you can never leave. The Eagles, Hotel California. I froze. I hadn't heard that song in years. But earlier tonight, before I turned off Route 17, it had been playing in my car. Same spot, same lyrics. I stepped inside. Booths lined the walls, red leather cracked with age. The smell of grease and something faintly metallic. No one looked up when I entered. Not the couple in the back corner. Not the old man by the window. Not the waitress wiping down the counter. They just moved slowly, mechanically, like they'd been doing the same motions for hours, or days. I took a seat. The waitress approached. Middle-aged, tight smile. She didn't ask what I wanted. She simply said, "You came in last night too." I blinked. No, this is my first time here. Her smile didn't change. They all say that. She turned and walked away. I stood up, heart thudding. Walked to the restroom just to breathe, just to look at a mirror and see something real. And when I pushed the door open, I was already in there, standing at the sink. Same jacket, same face, same eyes staring back, but not mine. The other me smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. Took you long enough. I ran. Out the door, past the booths, past the humming neon sign. The fog had thickened. The sky had no stars now. I didn't care. I jumped in the car, turned the ignition. The GPS lit up by itself. Rerouting. Turn left in 0.1 miles to return to Millie's diner. I screamed, slammed the screen off. But the voice still spoke. Not from the phone, from the car speakers. Soft, familiar. My own voice. You've reached your destination. I drove until my eyes burned. Left, right, straight, I didn't care anymore. No matter which turn I took, the road kept twisting back in on itself like a knot tightening around my brain. The trees never ended, the sky never brightened, and no matter how long I drove, the clock on the dash never moved past 12:03. I passed Millie's again, then the gas station, then Millie's, again, and again. But something changed each time. The third time I passed the diner, the neon sign was blue instead of red. The fourth, all the cars were missing. Just rust-colored stains where the tires had been. By the fifth, The windows were boarded up, and I could have sworn I saw someone inside hammering from the outside. But the worst part? The sixth time I passed Millie's, I saw me. Through the window, sitting in the booth, stirring a cup of coffee, staring blankly at the waitress as if I belonged there. And this version of me didn't look tired. He looked settled. Ooh, I drove off the road. Not by accident, on purpose. I floored the gas and veered straight into the trees, headlights smashing through brush and branches until the engine whined and I slammed to a stop. Silence. For a moment I thought maybe I'd broken it. Maybe I was free. Then I looked at the GPS screen. It was cracked, but still glowing. Recalculating, recalculating, recalculating. And then without me touching a thing. Welcome to Ashridge. Ooh, I left the car and ran. I didn't know where I was going. I just needed out. The woods were thick, but I pushed through, scraped my arms, tore my jacket, stumbled over roots. At some point I fell, rolled down a slope, leaves and dirt filling my mouth. When I stopped, everything was quiet. Then, a sound, a soft rustling, and a light, pale yellow like a lantern, through the trees just ahead. I moved closer, and there it was. The Ashridge General Store, again, but different. The windows were smashed, the shelves were empty, and inside, a dozen old maps scattered across the floor, all showing different versions of the same place. Ashridge, always in the center, but every road leading out, scratched out in red ink, and written across the back wall in something dark and dried. You were never supposed to leave. I backed out of the store. The shattered glass crunched under my boots. Every instinct screamed run, but where to? Where do you go when the map lies and the roads lead back to where you started? I turned in a slow circle, breathing hard. The fog was thicker now, not natural. It moved against the wind, it pressed inward like it had intent, and just then I heard something impossible. Footsteps, coming from behind the store, not fast, not slow, steady. I ducked behind a rusted dumpster and waited, heart thudding like it wanted out of my chest. A figure walked past. Same boots, same jacket, same face. Me, but not just me. This one was humming, calm, at peace, like he belonged here. He walked into the store, stepped over the broken glass, and sat behind the counter, like he'd been doing it for years. Ooh, I staggered back through the woods. Branches grabbed at my arms, thorns tore at my sleeves. I didn't care. I found the car again. At least I thought it was mine. It was in the same place I'd left it, but now the tires were half buried. Moss had started creeping up the sides. Had it really only been an hour? Or a day? Or longer? I climbed in, turned the key. The engine coughed, then roared to life. The GPS lit up. The map had changed. No roads, just one blinking red dot, labeled U, and below it a countdown. Time remaining, 00:57:41. Ooh, I stared. A timer. I didn't know what it meant, but something deep inside told me. When that timer runs out, you won't be you anymore. Ooh, I drove. Not with hope, with desperation. I picked random turns, left, right, U-turn, reverse, anything to get away from that countdown. Every turn just looped me back, sometimes to the diner, sometimes to the gas station, sometimes to things I didn't recognize, like a school with no windows, a church with no doors, a cemetery where the gravestones all read the same name. Me. Ooh, the timer ticked down. 30 minutes left. 20. 10. Screamed, I cried, I begged aloud to no one. Then I saw it. A tunnel. Old, cracked, overgrown. No sign, no lights. But it was new, I hadn't seen it before. And the GPS? For the first time, it was silent. I took it. The tunnel swallowed me whole. It was narrow, barely wide enough for the car. The headlights flickered against stone walls lined with roots, like veins in some ancient throat. The countdown ticked on. Zidion Suduandang. I pressed the gas harder. The GPS screen stayed blank. No voice, no rerouting, no map. Just the hum of tires on old concrete. And my breath ragged and fast. I had no idea where I was going, but for once I felt like I was getting somewhere. And then, I burst out the other side. Esor, open air. No trees, no fog. Just a flat, cracked parking lot surrounded by fields of dry grass. In the center, a building. Gray, windowless, monolithic. No signs, no door, except one entrance. Open, dark inside, like the mouth of something that had been waiting with infinite patience. The timer flashed. I got out of the car, walked toward the door. Every step felt like walking into a place I'd already been, in a dream I'd tried to forget. Inside there was nothing. No furniture, no lights. Just a single mirror, standing in the center of the room. It reflected the door behind me, but not me. I had no reflection. I stood in front of it, and then something stepped into view from the other side. Me, but not tired, not panicked. This version smiled, warmly, almost kindly, and whispered through the glass, "You made it." "Who are you?" I asked. It tilted its head. "The one who gave up first." The walls around me pulsed like they were breathing. The mirror shimmered. And then the voice returned. The GPS voice, but warped, slower, echoing from inside my own chest. "You have arrived at the final destination." The mirror cracked. The other me pressed his hand to the glass. I didn't move. He smiled wider, stepped forward, and the mirror shattered outward. The mirror exploded into dust. Not shards, not glass, just ash falling in slow motion around me. The other me stepped through what used to be the frame. Closer now, taller, cleaner, more alive. He didn't blink. "You've been fighting too hard," he said. "This place, it doesn't punish you for escaping, it punishes you for resisting." I backed away. "You're not real." He smiled. "Neither are you, not anymore." He held something out, my phone, but the screen was blank, and yet my fingers itched to take it like it belonged. "You don't have to be lost," he said. "You just have to stop remembering who you were. Let go." I looked at the phone, then at him. He was peaceful, like all the other versions of me I'd seen. Settled, resting, folded into the shape Ashridge wanted. But something in me flared up. A memory. My brother's laugh on a summer afternoon. The smell of my mom's cooking. The song that played on the radio before I took the wrong turn. Things the others didn't have anymore, because they had given it up. I dropped the phone. "No." His smile faltered. The room shook. The walls pulsed faster. He reached for me, but I stepped back. The mirror dust swirled around us, rising like a storm. "You can't leave," he hissed now. "Watch me," I said. And then a sound. The GPS. Crackling, damaged. But there, from my pocket. "Rerouting, exit available, 300 feet ahead." I ran. Behind the mirror frame, a hallway had opened. Stone, flickering lights, and air. Real air, cold, unfiltered. He screamed behind me, a tearing animal sound. But I didn't look back. I ran until the light faded, until I fell forward into grass. Real grass. Night sky above. Wind. Distant highway noise. And my own voice in my ears, panting. I lay there for hours. Afraid to sleep. Afraid to breathe too loudly. But nothing came. The sun rose. A car passed on the road nearby. I was out. I don't remember how I got home. My phone worked again. Time passed normally. But something had changed. Because Ashridge still shows up on my GPS. Sometimes when I'm driving alone at night, it appears in the corner of the screen. Rerouting. And once last week I woke up to find a notification. "Would you like to return to Ashridge?" I don't answer. I just turn the phone off, because I know if I do, I won't come back as me. And the version that does, he'll smile at my reflection every morning and wait for the next one.